Hi, I'm Margot. I'm a parent and a teacher, and I myself am dyslexic, dyspraxic, and a little bit ADHD, I suspect. And my life's work has been finding ways to help children like yours succeed in learning and become an independent learner. Don't worry if you don't have a diagnosis. All of the diagnoses overlap anyway. So let's see what we've got to look at. Often our children, particularly dyspraxic children, get these kinds of admonitions in school. Do it carefully, try harder, listen, watch, pay attention, concentrate. I can tell you that these children are often working harder, concentrating harder, and paying attention harder than anyone else in the classroom. And they're certainly working harder simply to survive. Why? Because they're different, thinking different. Their brains are organized differently, and we need to adjust our teaching and our presentation to meet them. To teach dyspraxic children effectively, we need to understand their needs. We need to understand neurodevelopment and how it affects their learning. We need to understand sensory processing and what's getting in the way. We need to understand learning approaches and what actually suits their thinking. And we need to give them time to pause to process and take ourselves time to pause to process and work out what the next step for them really is. Often in schools, there's something called positive behavior management. I can tell you when it came to my school, I was so excited. I was really enthusiastic. We had to make these color-coded behavior charts, and we let our artistic nature escape. There were rockets, there were zoos, there were fairgrounds. And the idea was that the children would have an always badge and they'd keep it unless they broke a rule. And they would be going up the behavior chart and learning on the way how to behave. They would learn positive behavior management, making good choices, and choosing to follow the rules. Sounded fantastic, but very quickly it showed the real problem. Real problem is that children do not choose not to follow the rules. It's the way they're made. Neurodevelopment is not a choice. Sensory organization is not a choice. Learning strengths and challenges are not a choice. The way children learn and behave tells us what they need if we know how to listen. Let me show you some of the changes for some of the children that we've worked with. First, a 5-year-old. Oh, the little lion is to remind me to tell you that I don't believe in putting children's pictures on the internet, even if it's with their permission, because they're going to grow and they're going to change, and online bullying is a thing. So all our clients are represented by lions in our videos. And this 5-year-old, when I first met her, she drew this picture. Now, if you know about child development, you'd look at that picture and think, 2-year-old, 3-year-old? 2 weeks later, she drew that picture. Now, if you know about child development, you'd look at that picture and you'd think, 6-year-old? Look, there are buttons, hands, eyes, pupils, ears, hair. Here, just the eyes are kind of inside the face. It's an incredible difference over just a few weeks. It works for older children too. There's a 16-year-old. When Max started his program, he was getting C's in his tests. 4 months later, when he took his GCSEs, he got all A's and A stars. GCSEs are the important public exams at age 16. And this was his mum's proud feedback. It also works with older people. This is a postgrad student. She'd just got a degree, but she'd never, ever read a book for pleasure cover to cover. She says, now I'm able to focus not just on the words, but what these words are describing. So now when I'm reading a book, I'm thinking about the appearance of that person that they're describing, what they might look like, what they might be wearing, what they might be feeling, or their body language and other things from the description in the words. She was very dyspraxic. There are 3 simple steps to make these changes. It's a 3-step program. Number 1, find out what's really going on for that person. And I don't mean the diagnosis. what's really happening in their body and their brain and their mind and what's getting in the way of learning. Then step 2 is addressing those issues. With the postgrad student who was reading, it was her eyes that weren't working well for her. And when those are addressed, the third step is going off and doing your own thing. That student is going off and reading books and talking to her family for the first time in her life. I wonder what your children would choose to do if they could choose to do it. Bring us your questions. Come and have a free consultation, and let's see where we go from there. Thank you. Bye.